Collei is one of the upcoming characters we'll be getting in Sumeru. She didn't always look so bright and cheerful though. As mentioned during the 3.0 special program, Collei has had a very dark past. Today we'll be taking a look at her background, diving into her story and uncovering what was it that led her to become a forest ranger under Tighnari's wing. Let's go all the way back to Collei's childhood. Collei was born very sick. Desperate to save her, her parents asked a well-respected seer in Sumeru for help. Upon bringing Collei to him, he explained that the little girl had been touched by the Div, some sort of supernatural creature, and that they should hand her over to him so that she could be saved. What they didn't know, however, was that this seer was working with the Fatui. In the last lore video about Dottore, we mentioned one of his subordinates, Barnabas. He is, in fact, the seer in question. He took Collei not to save her, but to experiment on her together with other vulnerable children. But before you think that her family abandoned her, her mother continued going to the seer's place, demanding that they let her see her daughter. But her requests were never fulfilled, and instead Barnabas ordered his men to get rid of her. It is not entirely sure whether the Fatui let her go, or if she escaped on her own. But she abandoned everything, leaving memories of her family behind, and started wandering around from place to place. But due to her sickly appearance, she was often ostracized and exiled, even having stones thrown at her. Even when she first appears in the manga at the city gates of Mondstadt, the guards try to chase her away because they fear she might be carrying the plague or some other deadly disease, and they wouldn't want to risk Mondstadt's safety. All these experiences made her wary and untrusting of people. But there was one thing that was driving her: vengeance for what was done to her and what she had to endure. While the guards were preventing her from entering, a Fatui diplomatic convoy was about to leave the city of Wind and Song after Dottore had ordered them to depart. Upon seeing that, fueled by her rage for the Fatui, something took over Collei, and a serpent-shaped black fire struck their carriage, and that resulted in the death of 2 Fatui diplomats. During the commotion, she managed to sneak her way into the city. Some time after that, Amber stumbled upon her, and despite Collei's initial hostility, Amber persisted in trying to befriend her and help her out with whatever she was looking for. It was not only Amber that welcomed Collei with open arms. Jean and Lisa looked after the girl as well. She insisted on joining them in the library, with the hopes of finding information regarding Barnabas. While going through the reports from the Black Fire incident, Collei finds something related to the region she was injected with. She pretended she needed to find out what was written on that paper, so that she could help a friend that the Fatui had experimented on. But the Knights of Favonius had already figured out that she was in fact the victim of the Fatui. The document, however, was written in an ancient language that not even Lisa could read, but she sent a letter to her teacher at Sumeru Academia, who could help them out. On the backside of that document, there was something related to the evil eye. The delusion Diluc's father Krampus used to drive Ursa the Drake away after being attacked by the creature, meaning that the substance they injected in Collei and the evil eye are most likely somehow related, and that the Fatui had a hand in the death of Krampus. Collei later joined Amber in helping her locate and dismantle metal bugs placed all over Mondstadt. Those bugs are used by the Fatui to lure monsters out. It appears that Dottore was plotting something for Ludi Harpastum, an annual festival held in Mondstadt. They most probably wanted to disrupt the festivities by luring monsters in the city and creating chaos, so that they could play the hero role again and indebt Mondstadt to the Fatui even more. Just like how they did with the incident involving the death of Krampus, where Dottore somehow single-handedly defeated Ursa the Drake, and in doing so, indebted Mondstadt to Snezhnaya. The Fatui had already been informed about the Blackfire incident, and while Dottore showed no interest in it, his subordinate Barnabas was very keen on going there to investigate the matter personally, as he knew he could bring back something of value: Collei. After dealing with the metal bugs, Amber takes Collei to enjoy the festivities of Ludi Harpastum. They tried a lot of different things, even though Collei wasn't too enthusiastic about it. During the festival, Collei was selected to participate in a magic trick and got hidden away in a wooden crate. This made her panic, and she remembered her past, how she was always exiled for being sick and unclean, meaning without a vision, having stones thrown at her, and worst of all, remembering the experiments they performed on her. But she slowly begins to learn that the people of Mondstadt don't live in constant fear, and that not everyone has ill intentions, and even wishes she was born like them and lived the same kind of life. She later gets separated from Amber when Kaeya stumbles upon her. Compared to the rest of the Knights of Favonius, he wasn't as friendly and welcoming towards her, as he already had his suspicion that she was the culprit behind the Black Fire incident. Kaeya attacked Collei, and after doing so, the mysterious power within her took over. Being unable to control it, she launches an attack on Kaeya, but manages to snap out of it and stop attacking him. As she doesn't wish to harm anybody, she doesn't want to be like this. She even begs Kaeya to kill her, so that perhaps he could put an end to her pain. Startled by her words and thanks to Amber's timely interruption, he stops attacking and Collei escapes together with Amber. Despite discovering that Collei is the culprit they were looking for, Amber doesn't abandon her and continues staying by her side. Moreover, she bears the good news that the document had been decoded. Upon arriving at the library after Lisa had summoned them, they meet her teacher from the academia, Cyno, who informs them that what Collei had been injected with is archon residue, and if it's not sealed away, it will completely take over her consciousness. They then arrange to meet the following day on Starsnatch Cliff. While Cyno is sealing away Collei's power, Kaeya had prepared a plot to distract Barnabas and the Fatui guards who were sent to investigate the incident. By having Diluc pose as the culprit, Diluc would wield the delusion left by his father, as it possesses similar powers to those of Collei. Attracted by the power of the archons that had just been sealed away, Barnabas still manages to find his way to Amber and Collei, where he attacks them and tries to take his former test subject away. After getting defeated by Amber, his body transforms into a lion-like creature through a seal on his neck, which he then says is the power of gods. So perhaps he experimented on himself with archon residue as well? Even then, he still ends up getting defeated by Amber thanks to Diluc's last-minute involvement in the fight. Barnabas then returns to his human form before he falls unconscious on the ground, while the Fatui take Diluc away as the culprit behind the incident. Diluc later escapes, and Barnabas and the Fatui guards return empty-handed. Disappointed by their incompetence, Dottore orders the guards to dispose of this garbage, the garbage being Barnabas. After the incident with Barnabas, Collei leaves for Sumeru together with Cyno, and leaves a letter behind for Amber, which Lisa helped her write. In her letter, she conveys to Amber that she wants to learn about medicine and all kinds of things she doesn't know about the world, and thanks her for the time they spent together. We can already see that Amber is a huge role model and inspiration for Collei. One could say that Collei is Dendro Amber. She is gliding champion of Sumeru, has a little companion similar to Baron Bunny, and even the way she wears her vision is the same. There is also already a little reference to her in-game at the Cattail's Tavern message board. Someone left a message saying they remember seeing her during Ludi Harpastum, saying that they wished they see her laugh and smile just like other kids, and that they hope she recovers soon and is able to live a life free of those bandages. At the end of the teaser, where all the Harbingers got revealed, we see Collei waking up from what seems like a nightmare, after the scene of one of Dottore's clones performing some sort of experiment in blasphemy, as they said. But the people in Sumeru don't dream, so perhaps she was able to sense something through the archon powers that are sealed away within her. But we will probably be finding more about that, as well as what the Fatui are plotting, during the upcoming updates. Collei has been through many hardships and difficulties, but hopefully a brighter future awaits her, and this concludes her story. We shall find out more about her in the future. But for now, thank you all for watching, have fun, stay safe, and I will see you all soon.